Hey there, it's Janice. I just wanted to say, after you listen to this video, if you'd like to stay for a short meditation, I'd like to invite you to do that. It's only 2 minutes long. If you'd like to shorten it and make it just do it for a minute, that's perfectly fine. And I'm going to attach it in the description of the video. So if you'd like to just listen to that, that's perfectly fine as well. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.
There's a feeling that can build quietly. And most of us don't want to admit that it's there. We shove it, we push it down. And it doesn't look like anger most of the time. We talked about guilt, the guilt we feel when we're taking care of our aging parent and our children at the same time. And this week we're talking about resentment, and the resentment that can live in your heart, even though you love your family, you love your children, you love your parent, but you feel such a resentment for them, and that causes guilt. It's a pain. It's a pain that sticks in your heart and just stays there. You try to push it down. The more you try to push it down, the more you feel it. There are many things that can attribute to this. You have to take care of your child, and sometimes your parent suffers, and vice versa. And it's not that you want it to be that way. It's that you're the only one there to take care of those people. And there are no other options. But do you make time for yourself in those times? I'm not saying it's easy. You get up early, you stay up a little bit later, and it doesn't have to be a long period of time. 1 to 2 minutes of meditation. And meditation can be hard. People think it's just sitting there, being silent, and it is. But it's different than that. You go inside yourself. You breathe. You breathe with purpose. You breathe in the oxygen that fuels your body, and you breathe out everything else. And I can say this now, but there was a time in my life when I was married to my daughter's father, and he was abusive to me, emotionally abusive, and he did a lot of gaslighting as well. I didn't have any confidence in my abilities on anything I was doing. I felt like I couldn't do anything right. I was making a mistake just by living, right? I felt a great depression, and that's different than what I'm talking about, though, although it can be a symptom of that. What I'm talking about then, like what happened with me, I felt a lot of resentment toward my family, for example, my parents and my siblings, especially when they asked me, they told me I need to get out of the relationship, and I was so guilt-ridden over what that would do to my daughter. And plus, I didn't want to hear it. And I swallowed it down, and that led to great resentment in my heart. And it hurt. It hurt me. And it made me feel like I wasn't totally there for my daughter. And it made me feel like I was, made me really not want to be around my parents and my siblings. And we'd always been very close. And then it also happened to me when I was caring for my mother-in-law of my second husband. And he was a truck driver, long-distance truck driver. And he was driving all the time. And this was during COVID. And he didn't have any other siblings. And they weren't there. And so somebody had to step up. So it was me. And I felt such a great resentment. Not that I didn't love my husband and my mother-in-law. I knew, I understood that my mother-in-law needed care. I understood that. And I understood that my husband had to travel for his job. But I felt so lonely, and I felt so misunderstood, and I felt like this resentment living in my heart that I was the one stepping up. And it wasn't even my mother-in-law. It wasn't even my mother, rather. And my mother was already suffering Alzheimer's, and my sibling would care for her. And she was going through the same thing with my mother. The same thing of being torn, more than me even, of being torn between her children and her mother, our mother. And this was also during COVID, and it was rough. She was torn in so many different directions. My mother couldn't take care of herself. Same thing with my mother-in-law. And she felt, I know my sister felt very, a lot of different feelings that it was hard to deal with. It was hard to deal with for her. And I know that feeling myself, even though it was on a different level than what she was going through. Like I said, my mother-in-law was taking care of her, and she couldn't take care of herself. She got to the point where she couldn't really walk that well, even though she was very independent. And I've lifted her up off the floor a couple of times. What I'm saying is there are a lot of situations we go through, and a big part of them is that sandwich generation, the in-between of the mother of the children, the caregiver of our parent. And that's where a lot of resentment can form when no one else can help. You have no one. You have no one that's willing to step up. But because you love them, you do. And sometimes it's not, don't have the luxury of having anyone to help you. And that resentment can build and build and build. And you stuff it down and down and down. And then either you get depressed or it builds, and it can cause all sorts of things in your body, in your life. There are times we need to take a moment, maybe a small moment, 1 to 2 minutes every day. Get up early, stay up late for those 1-2 minutes. Close your eyes and focus inside of yourself. Focus on you. Now, when you first start, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. I'm not going to lie to you. You're going to feel so pulled in so many different directions. You're going to know that you've got to do this and that and the other. You don't have time to sit still. You don't have time for that. And I understand. I didn't think I had time either. It was boring to sit there. And I had so much to do, right? But just taking that 1 minute regularly in the early morning, in the late night, over time, it gave me a chance to breathe. It gave me a chance to feel safe, to feel inside that I was okay, that I was not this terrible person because I felt this. To have that relief in my body and my person. And I'm hoping you're not going through this. You're not experiencing resentment. But I know that's not reality. I know that many things that we experience can't be controlled. We have to be caregivers to two different people in two different generations that need two different things. But if you can just take one tiny step to take care of you, what can you do to take care of yourself? One thing. Let's just take a moment together. Nothing complicated. Nothing you have to get right. Wherever you are, you can stay seated, feet on the floor, or just settle in however feels comfortable. If it feels okay, you can gently close your eyes or soften your gaze. Let your shoulders drop just a little. Unclench your jaw and let your hands rest. Now, just notice your breath. No need to change it. Just notice the inhale and the exhale. If your mind wanders, that's okay. That's what minds do. Just gently bring your attention back to your breath. Maybe silently say to yourself, I am here. And on your next breath, I am okay. Even just these few moments, this is enough. You're not trying to become someone else. You're just coming back to yourself. When you're ready, take one slightly deeper breath and gently open your eyes.